How I finally got past the sticking point in my bulk to gain 10 pounds in around 2 months in a pretty lean manner. Here's the before, here's the after. Pretty similar. I'm a pretty advanced lifter. My name is Todd Gibson. I am a state champion power lifter, and I have been researching gym things for the past 3 years, and I know a good bit at this point. But today we're going to be going over what I did personally and what you can do yourself to get past your sticking point in your bulk as someone that might have trouble gaining weight. At least that could be lean or just gaining weight in general. But that's what we're covering today. Okay, so the number one thing that I think made the biggest difference, that is a variable that I've changed, is ghrelin. So I learned a good bit about ghrelin, the hunger hormone, this timing, what it does realistically. Ghrelin is just a hunger hormone. It's what your body produces to signal to tell yourself to eat. Now, that might not seem like much on the surface, but if you're someone like me and you don't want to eat very often and you naturally fast, you get bit like some of my friends that I know, manipulating your ghrelin, which is something that's very possible, can be very advantageous for you. So for me personally, what I did to manipulate my ghrelin to help with my bulk is I started eating breakfast in the morning every day consistently, a pretty similar bowl size that I know is about 500 to 750 calories, maybe even a bit more. Always underestimate your calories, by the way, on a bulk, because if you're like me, you're kind of a person that kind of struggles gaining weight, then you're going to end up overestimating too much, and then you're going to end up not eating enough. So, underestimate. So what I did to manipulate my ghrelin was to just change my eating times from like just whenever I was hungry to just very consistent time. So after I wake up, I'll get up, get some sunlight exposure, read a book, and then I will eat either a huge bowl of oatmeal or an entire tub of Greek yogurt or a bowl of cereal. And cereal, not very good for you. It's not something I'll consistently do. If I can go for the bowl of oatmeal or the Greek yogurt, I will, but cereal is a fallback. Would not recommend it though. So I've done that. After I work out, I once again consume something that's between 500 to 750 calories. And at this point, I aim to be at least at 1500 minimum. I'm talking like this is around 1 or 2 p.m. I want to be at least at 1500 calories because at the end of the day, I tend to be able to eat a lot more than I can at the beginning. So those first calories that I'm force feeding myself at the beginning of the day are more or less just so I can get a very firm foundation for the rest of my day because I naturally don't get really hungry until like 5 p.m. or so. Now, for a lot of people, it might be like that. But also for some people, it might be you're struggling and you're eating the wrong things. So whatever you decide to make your consistency sticking point, make sure it's a pretty good source of calories and protein and everything. If you're going to consistently eat something, make sure that the consistent thing that you're making a habit, by the way, you're forming a habit. It's not just ghrelin, this goes into habits. Like you are making a habit in yourself to be like, I'm going to eat this at this time every day. And whenever you think about it, don't just be like, hey, this is just some food I don't want to eat yet because I just woke up. No, this is building your body. You want to gain some weight. You want to put on some muscle, and in order to do that, you need to be in a caloric surplus to some extent, especially if you're a more advanced lifter, but even the newer lifters, you will definitely gain a lot from being in a caloric surplus and especially getting a lot of high quality protein. So don't just think about it like that. Think, I am a lifter. I am eating for my gains, okay? Make eating that meal something more than just eating something that you don't want to eat. Make it about gaining strength. Make it towards building up to a PR that you're looking for. Let's say you're trying to squat 500 pounds. Be like, you are eating to squat 500 pounds eventually once you get to that point. I think that's a pretty good idea. Another thing I did was convenience. So I pack around a thing of peanuts with me. They're pretty good. And it's just to get some extra calories in throughout the day if I feel like I'm lagging behind, it's really nice actually. And the same thing in my pantry. I have everything that I will eat on a consistent basis to reach that 1500 threshold to where after that, typically I can actually make some food that I don't eat every single day. Maybe like, I don't know. My last resort is like a pre-made pizza. All right, you throw that in the oven, boom, 1500 more calories, and I'm at 3000 now. 3000 is my goal. Or for you, it might be something else. Maybe someone cooked something. Who knows? Maybe you get to hammer something that's actually not super boring to eat, because after a while, those routine meals, they get pretty boring. But, you know, you spice it up. So for me, the oatmeal, I bought like 18 different flavors of freaking packets, so it doesn't get that old. The Greek yogurt, yeah, some granola. You can do 1,000 things with Greek yogurt, but not really. Mainly just granola. All right, but Greek yogurt does not get that old. Now, back what I was talking about, convenience. Make it very easy for yourself. Whenever you wake up, have everything laid out. If this is a big problem for you, have it laid out. For me, right as I walk into the pantry, there are the flavoring packets right there stacked up for me. The oatmeal's right next to it. My granola's next to it. Everything I need to make the food that I need to eat to get to 1,500 calories. That way I'm at my halfway point and I can start hammering food when I'm actually hungry at like 5 p.m. or so. They're ready for me. Now, your body's digestive processes are pretty, like, intensive, all right? It's going to affect your mental cognition and stuff to some extent. So, whatever you eat, that's why I like to go lighter. It's only 1,500 calories for the first majority of the day. Now, after that, 5 p.m., I have nothing mentally taxing to do whatsoever. So, we're just going to hammer away some calories that aren't going to make me think so straight. Now, is that fun? No. But it can be fun. If you don't have anything cognitively like very strenuous to do, then it doesn't really matter. See, that's why I wouldn't recommend just hammering away at the beginning of the day, because then you can't really think, you can't function, you're tired all day. So I recommend kind of going a little bit lighter, but space it all out so that your body can actually digest things. For me, that is 2 meals that equate to 1,500 calories. My body digests them perfectly fine, and I can still mentally, cognitively think. Like, maybe 30, 45 minutes ago, I just ate a bowl of oatmeal about friggin' this big. It should be about 750 calories. Now, after I ate that, later on in the day, I have about another 1,500 or so calories to go, about 750 calories. Yeah, I have like another 1,500 calories to go. So after I'm done recording this, I'm going to go find a snack real quick, and then another snack after that before I go to bed. But no matter what, it's helped me a lot. So I decided for myself, so you know, people have New Year's goals. I don't like goals. I've been reading this book, and it is basically just dissing goals. Not quite literally, but it is kind of just dissing goals. So I've made New Year's systems, sort of. So my New Year's thing is like, I want to have my phone plugged up, the thing I'm using right now, plugged up, right there, away from me, so that whenever I wake up, and this has actually worked tremendously well. I'm not gonna lie, this worked well, better than any. This is getting away from the point of the video, but this can help. If anyone's watched this far into the video, this can genuinely help you. I've plugged my phone like on the other side of my room. Now, if this is not enough, you can also just put it somewhere else. And I make it a point whenever I wake up in the morning, I don't want to touch my phone first thing in the morning, because one thing leads to another. You're just like, oh, I just want to text somebody real quick. Oh, I just want to do this real quick. And then all of a sudden, you're wasting way more time than you actually envisioned. So I decided to plug my phone away from my bed, and I have a physical alarm clock right here. This is a sunrise alarm clock. What it does is it wakes you up with natural light. I've had this for about 1.5 years or so. It's been a while. It's served me pretty well. Basically, it'll turn on like a very dim light 30 minutes before. It gets gradually more intense, and then eventually it'll play the sound as an alarm clock does if you don't wake up from the light. Most of the time I wake up from the light, and it is a lot more peaceful than waking up to an alarm. It's annoying, and to be honest, I would rather naturally wake up without the alarm in general, which I do a good bit of the time. And it's very nice, and it keeps everything, all of your hormones in check by having a balanced circadian rhythm. That is what I have been focused on this year, is just dialing in my sleep, because everything that you build on top of your life, the foundations are nutrition and sleep. So I've been working on ways to more consistently get in the calories so I can meet my lifting goals, but also sleep well so that my cognitive function is not impaired. So for everyone here, this doesn't seem related to bulking, but to me it is very closely tied to bulking. If you sleep well, your metabolism is going to work right, which might not make sense because you're trying to gain weight, but your metabolism does need to work and everything in conjunction with protein synthesis to actually build muscle. So if you're not sleeping correctly, then protein synthesis is not happening as much as it possibly could. You build muscle for the most part when you're asleep. Your body doesn't have a whole bunch else to do. Sorry for the stuttering. But I think if you guys can dial in your sleep along in conjunction with your ghrelin modulation, this is my sort of thing. I don't know why I've decided to call it ghrelin modulation, but it sounds so nerdy. But ghrelin modulation and sleep. Those two have been the things that have got me past the sticking point, because I was stuck at about 170 pounds for a good few months, all right? A good few months. And literally on the dot 170, which means I was eating at maintenance, which is also, sometimes you gotta take a break for your metabolism, all right? Every once in a while, you just need to dial it back. Now, not for a few months. That was just me dicking around because I didn't feel like eating anymore. I was tired of that. I've been bulking for 3 years for powerlifting, and I'm a bit over it. Now I'm back into it because I took those 3 months of just maintenance. But to get out of those maintenance, because before I just intuitively ate. Whatever I thought was near it, that's what it is. And I still do kind of intuitively eat, but I think about it a bit more. I know the caloric value of my go-to meals to get to 1,500 calories very, very well. So it's not as rough and intuitive as it used to be. And if you're new, it really can't be. I think I would have made a lot more progress than I did if I could have just locked in my eating a lot sooner. Because honestly, to gain 10 pounds for a lot of people doesn't mean anything. But to gain 10 pounds for me and it to be relatively lean mass, that is really, really, really good. So guys, 3 meals. First to get half of what you need to bulk. Then go crazy at the end of the day. Or just split it up however you need to. The point is, do it at the same time every single day. Or at the same time after a certain habit that you're doing. So wake up, read a book, eat food. Go gym, get home, eat food. Record video, eat food. Something, okay? Now, those have been the 2 things that have made the biggest difference in my bulk and getting past my sticking point. Hope those tips can help you. If you want to check out my program that I am currently developing, my course, it's in my link in the description. I'm developing a course called Asthetic Powerlifting, and it's going to have a bunch of information that can help you get from 0 to a very, very respectable amount of knowledge that can guide you throughout most of your lifting career. But until next time, you guys have a great day.